Hi, it's Katrina! Some of Earth's most dangerous lakes are deceptively beautiful, while others that appear deadly host surprisingly abundant ecosystems. On the other hand, some lakes look as toxic as they are. Here are 9 of the world's most horrifying and mysterious lakes. Number 9. Geamana, Romania. During the 1970s, copper was discovered in the Apuseni Mountains surrounding the Romanian village of Geamana. In 1977, communist dictator Nicolae Ceaușescu decided to exploit the huge underground deposit. Engineers needed somewhere to dump wastewater from the new copper mine, named Rosia Poieni. As a result, in 1978, the regime forcibly relocated the 400 families living in the town. The quaint former village was flooded with toxic bright red sludge, giving it a stunning color but creating a polluted lake full of cyanide in the process. The government told evacuees that they were moving to a nearby village 7 kilometers away, but instead they were relocated over 100 kilometers away. Villagers also believed that they would be compensated fairly for leaving their hometown. I mean, you'd think so, right? But they were given meager portions of land and money. Authorities also failed to fulfill their promise of relocating the village's graves, which now sit lost and buried in the contaminated waste. In its prime, Rosia Poieni produced 11,000 tons of copper annually. While copper is no longer being mined there, the poisonous lake remains. Today, the place is quite eerie. Only the church steeple and a few of Geamana's other buildings are visible. They poke out of the acidic water against the otherwise scenic landscape, serving as reminders of the environmental and societal costs of exploiting natural resources without concern for people or wildlife. Number 8. Blue Lake, Russia. Located in Kabardino-Balkaria, Russia, Blue Lake is as beautiful as it is mysterious. Nobody truly knows how deep it is, but it's believed to be one of Europe's deepest lakes. Unmanned submersibles have gone as far down as 111.25 meters beneath the water's surface, with some estimates putting the lake's possible maximum depth at 258 meters. Water levels sometimes change throughout the day, and scientists don't really know why. Blue Lake is sourced from a cave and one river flows out of it. It has a year-round temperature of 48.74 degrees Fahrenheit and contains clear water with a visibility of up to 20 and 40 meters in some parts. Depending on the lighting, the lake's color ranges from a bright blue to emerald green due to a hydrogen sulfide presence in the water, which also produces a noticeable odor. In the local dialect, the lake is called Serik Kel, which translates to stinky lake. There may be a side cave at around a depth of 120 meters, as evidenced by diver Martin Robinson's observations of a strong lateral stream and reduced visibility at that level. If you want to find out for yourself, the largely unexplored water body is open to tourists, who are strongly cautioned to participate in any deep-sea diving at their own risk. Number 7. Gafsa Beach, Tunisia. In August 2014, a lake between 10 and 18 meters deep appeared out of nowhere from one day to the next, just overnight in drought-ridden Tunisia. It was discovered by shepherds and named Lac de Gafsa, or Gafsa Beach, and quickly became a popular place for people to catch some relief from the heat by taking a swim. Lac de Gafsa was originally a pleasant turquoise color, but soon became infested with algae and turned a murky shade of green, prompting the local Office of Public Safety to issue warnings that the water may contain carcinogens. Although no official swimming ban was implemented, the water's rapid transformation was a clear sign to experts that the lake wasn't being replenished and was therefore conducive to disease. It's also located in an area that is rich in phosphate deposits, which sometimes leave heavily radioactive residue. Despite such cautions, Tunisian citizens couldn't resist cooling off in the lake amidst the scorching 104-degree Fahrenheit heat. Within 3 weeks of Lac de Gafsa's discovery, an estimated 600 people went there to scuba dive, swim, jump off rocks, and just relax. Would you take a dip here? Let me know in the comments below. Geologists tried to explain the lake's origins, theorizing that groundwater surfaced as a result of seismic activity disrupting the water table. No one ever agreed, of course, but meanwhile there is a lake that just popped out of nowhere that people are enjoying, even if it is dangerous. But when it's that hot outside, people are more open to taking risks. And now for number 6, but first I wanted to give a big thank you to Corey West and G.A. Park for supporting this channel. If you are new here, be sure to click that subscribe button and join the Origins Explained family. Number 6. Lake Natron, Tanzania. The bright red Lake Natron in Africa's Great Rift Valley is the world's most caustic water body. What does this mean? It contains high amounts of alkaline and salt, giving the water a pH as high as 10.5, almost like ammonia, effectively turning animals, and anyone else who might fall in, into stone. Lake Natron is too acidic and mineral-ridden to sustain most life forms. However, it has its own ecosystem going on. Lesser flamingos love it and can handle the extreme conditions, as well as an endemic species of fish known as the alkaline tilapia. It also has salt-loving microorganisms which give the water its red hue, and a blue-green algae with red pigments called spirulina. When animals die, their bodies are calcified and harden like stone, leaving the lake full of ghosts. This results from sodium carbonate minerals in the water, which are similar to chemicals ancient Egyptians used to preserve their dead. In Lake Natron, these chemicals come from the carbonatite lava of a nearby active volcano called Oldoinyo-Lengai. It's the only known volcano to emit carbonatite lava at any point in human history. While most volcanoes spew silica-rich lava, Oldoinyo-Lengai releases lava containing minerals often seen in sedimentary rocks. It measures between 932 and 1,112 degrees Fahrenheit, and is much cooler than silica-rich lava, which usually measures around 2,120 degrees Fahrenheit. In July 2001, Tanzania added Lake Natron to the Ramsar list of wetlands of international importance due to its uniqueness. Number 5. Lake Kaindy, Kazakhstan. Crystal clear Lake Kaindy is nestled in the Tian Shan Mountains of southern Kazakhstan in the Kolsai Lakes National Park, near the border with Kyrgyzstan. It's 4 kilometers long and ranges in color from bright blue to emerald green depending on the light, due to various minerals in the water, including lime. This eerily entrancing freshwater lake sits 6,500 feet above sea level and was formed in 1911 by an earthquake. It hosts a population of fir trees that both stick out from the surface and make up an underwater forest, like a fairy tale. The 1911 earthquake created a natural dam, which slowly filled with rainwater and submerged the damaged trees, preserving them. Due to the lake's elevation keeping its water cool, the petrified trees still have needles on their branches. Located in a mountainous remote region where few people speak English, internet is scarce, and Google Maps is rumored to be unreliable, Lake Kaindy is ideal for the off-the-beaten-path traveler who is willing to forego modern technology and experience its beauty. Number 4. Boiling Lake Dominica. On the Caribbean island of Dominica, 10.5 kilometers east of the capital of Roseau, sits a flooded opening in the Earth's crust, or a fumarole, appropriately named the Boiling Lake. It's situated at the bottom of a large basin and is filled with bluish-gray water, with a cloud of vapor constantly emanating from the surface. Scientists have measured temperatures ranging between 180 and 197 degrees Fahrenheit along the Boiling Lake's shoreline. In the middle of the lake, the water is actively boiling. At 61 meters across, it's the world's second largest boiling lake. Do you know what the first is? Let me know your guess in the comments. Reaching the site requires a several-hour hike, and this is perhaps for the better. The Boiling Lake's levels change frequently due to rainfall and other factors such as rapid draining. In late 2016, visitors noticed that the lake's level had decreased significantly and that the water had cooled, resulting in the mistaken belief that the Boiling Lake was safe to swim in. The Public Seismic Network, Inc. reminded the public that swimming in the Boiling Lake under any conditions is extremely dangerous, and that people have lost their lives from its strong gas emissions. And if you guessed, the largest hot lake in the world is in the Waimangu Valley near Rotorua, New Zealand. Number 3. Lake Nyos, Cameroon. Located in the northwest region of Cameroon, Lake Nyos was considered a non-threatening, placid blue water body until August 26, 1986. That evening, nearby villagers went to inspect a rumbling sound and discovered a tall water fountain spouting from the volcanic lake. It was accompanied by a 100-meter-high white cloud of gas that flowed down the valley and through nearby villages. People and livestock suddenly became unconscious and collapsed as the river of white smoke spread. The gas in question was carbon dioxide, and within minutes it claimed the lives of 1,746 people and over 3,500 livestock animals from 4 villages. There were only 4 survivors from the first village that got hit with the deadly gas, who all lived because they quickly ran to higher ground. Following the eruption, Lake Nyos went from a nice blue shade to brown and became saturated with carbon dioxide. Scientists are unsure what triggered the eruption of Lake Nyos. One theory is that a boulder or some blunt object fell into the lake and triggered the release of the deadly gas. Only 2 other volcanic lakes in the world are known to have erupted in a similar fashion, and they are also located in Africa. Authorities in Cameroon have set up a self-sustaining degassing station to avoid similar disasters in the future. Lake Nyos must be continuously monitored, however, as its CO2 levels are currently higher than when the disaster occurred, and a natural dam within the lake is at risk of breaking, posing threats of both flooding and gassing to the local population. Number 2. Mono Lake, California. Located 13 miles east of Yosemite National Park in Mono County, California, Mono Lake is a saline soda lake that formed over 760,000 years ago, making it one of the oldest lakes in North America. Due to water coming in but not going out, the water body became highly saline and alkaline, making it inhospitable to most life forms, including fish. However, Mono Lake hosts a species of brine shrimp that exists nowhere else in the world and provides a habitat to nearly 2 million annual migratory birds. Alkali flies also thrive here. The survival of Mono Lake's inhabitants depends partially on it being an unaccommodating habitat for their predators. In 1941, the city of Los Angeles began diverting water from the lake's freshwater tributaries, causing its rate of evaporation to exceed its inflow. Mono Lake sank to half its normal level and its saline content doubled. Predators that normally avoided the area began coming around, causing damage to Mono Lake's migratory bird populations. Los Angeles was required to partially restore the lake's water levels following a lawsuit pursued by the Mono Lake Committee. The lake has a long way to go before it's restored to its stabilization level of 1,948 meters above sea level, however. The process to recover the original conditions could take 2 decades. Number 1. Lake Karachay, Russia. Russia's Lake Karachay is considered one of the most polluted places on the planet. It has an extremely high radioactive waste content. In 1990, standing on the shore for just an hour would administer a potentially deadly dose of radiation. Lake Karachay is located in the Ural Mountains near Mayak Production Association, one of Russia's largest nuclear production facilities, which existed in secrecy until 1990. During that time, copious amounts of radioactive waste were dumped into the nearby Techa River, and much of the surrounding environment was consequently contaminated. Over several decades, many locals became unexplainably ill. Since Mayak technically didn't exist, it was difficult to pinpoint the blame for the mysterious illness. At one point, Lake Karachay dried up, and the resulting radioactive dust was blown into nearby villages. In addition to unknowingly drinking contaminated water, people began inhaling toxic particles. Today, poured concrete prevents radioactive sediments from reaching the shores of Lake Karachay, and the Techa River contains almost no radioactive material. Although some nearby waters will be poisonous for hundreds of years to come, the area has largely been cleaned up. Thanks for watching! Would you like to learn more about mysterious lakes? There's plenty more where that came from. Let me know in the comments and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time. Bye!